Hello and good day, folks. Welcome to On the Call, produced by The Stars Among Us. Today's star is Taiwo Bamisile. And
how you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing well. Today's a great day.
It's a beautiful sunny day here in New York, right?
Yes, it is.
We got together when you were working with me on my video series. But you have a career in music. What were you studying in Virginia?
Psychology.
And in terms of the music that you're working on right now, what kind of music? Is it your own writing? Is it your own arrangements?
Yes, everything is composed by me. Songwriting, the production, the engineering. Everything in full production for like a record label only. I'm independent.
You're also involved in videos and photography, correct?
Yes, very much.
And what sort of photography are you into?
Well, I like a lot of lifestyle portraits, but sometimes I do a lot of fashion. So I work with Fashion Week Brooklyn, and they usually have like a range of different events. It depends on which communities they're servicing. And sometimes I just do like personal freelance gigs and commercial work as well.
And with all of that you're doing, this COVID life that we're all living, how has that hampered what you're doing, what you've been doing in terms of music and photography, etc.? Or has it?
It hasn't hampered me in a sense where it limited like my range of creativity. Where it stopped was I had to adjust how I was getting like monetary value from a lot of the things that I would do. So if somebody had a baby shower that was already scheduled, I can't go because they're not having this baby shower anymore, you know? And that kind of like freaked me out a little bit, where it was like, okay, how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to pay that bill? And, it just provided me a new sense to create a way to make something happen. So, for music, it didn't stop me because I had the equipment. You know, I had my own studio's equipment, so I was able to do everything in-house no matter what. Photography, now instead of taking pictures of people, I'm outside taking pictures of like nature. Like I really love taking pictures of nature. So that I opened my eye. And you know, just being really innovative with how I see things as an artist or a creative individual. And so
with this COVID thing happening, I mean,
if ever at a time there was no food in the house, there's this one meal that we have from cassava leaf, and it's called the eba. It's like these grains that you have to boil, and then you stir them up, and they create like this fluffy mashed potato-like substance. And not mashed potatoes, but like it's grainy and it's really good. But and we like made some stew from peppers and tomatoes and onions, and so that would serve us for like a week or 2 weeks if we did it the right way. Especially the fact that the type of culture we have is not based on fast food. We can survive without fast food or going out any different places, but most of the stuff that we've taken are probably similar to that of the Caribbean philosophy. So we'd have like lemongrass, we'd have detoxers, take out toxins from your body, the sea moss, all these different things, turmeric, garlic. Most of the stuff I would say had good respiratory value. So like garlic, onion, everything that was white, that was edible, but not like your starch stuff. Everything like in the onion family, garlic family.
So now that this COVID has interrupted the income in one way, you have become, as they say, one of the essential workers. Tell me a little bit about that job and where you go and how it's done.
Well, fortunate for me, I got the job in February. I got the job offer in February and accepted it. And nothing had taken place globally yet. I mean, well, as far as the United States was concerned. And the week of March 12th, when I entered my orientation, that Friday when I was doing the CPR training, the whole COVID-19 had run the city like on radar. So people were still doing business as usual, except that you had to, really wash your hands, and they was really saying all this stuff to people. I thought it would hinder my job because, I had not yet gotten to the facility. But fortunately for me, again, everything was still continuing business as usual. And it wasn't until the third week of March, which I want to say is like the week of the 20th, they had us go visit the residents at their homes, all the clients, and they said, okay, we would be working from their homes. I thought it was cool because this is not something that I'm new to. This is something that I've done before working in Virginia. And now I'm here faced with this new experience, different individuals. The staff is really supportive. So it was like, okay, let me see. The unfortunate thing about it for me was that because I was so new, I was limited to how I could actually interact with the individuals in their home. So my usual position is to be in the day support program, and the day support program is where these adult individuals come and they spend their day here, sort of like going to school like a teenager, except they're adults. So every kind of therapeutic treatment that they would need, they have it done there. They go on field trips. They do all types of things that's normal for anybody. So we have to bring those activities to their residents as that day support staff. And now the difficult part is, and I use this word very general and loosely, the normal day-to-day schedule for them is to wake up, eat breakfast, leave the home, come back after school, and then do everything that you would do when you go home after work. Now they're home and we're bringing the school to their house. You can only imagine that they don't want to do no schoolwork or no activities or anything like that. So now we have to figure out a way to incorporate their home lifestyle into the stuff, the activities that we do with them. And it actually became fun. There was a client there, we'll call him DH, because we can't really say their name. He's looking up videos of the corona on his iPad, and he's like, I got corona, I want to go back to school. It's interesting because you kind of forget that it's so much of a different atmosphere than you would think, other than, everybody's watching the news too. They're staying updated, and there's general conversations with those that can speak and those that cannot. It's interesting for me because I never would have imagined going to work during an epidemic and having to safeguard myself between the points of destinations.
But not only the points of destination, because you're going into homes.
Correct.
Right? So that in itself, you have to safeguard from.
Definitely. And when we get in the house, the first thing that we have to do is wash our hands and then take our temperatures and then record it. And then after that, once it's recorded and it doesn't reach over a certain point, then we can continue working. We don't go outside at all. If anything, we crack the windows, but everything is inside the house. I didn't even know we were classified as essential workers until after they put out that whole list. Limited conversation is had because people don't consider the mental health field such a big thing, and I feel like they left it out in such a way that it shouldn't go unnoticed in any shape, way, or form. And in
order to get to work, you're coming from Brooklyn, then you have to take a train to mid-Manhattan, and then you take another train downtown. How does it work?
The residences I go to work at is in Staten Island.
Right.
If I rewind to the beginning of the story, when I got the job, I didn't know that there was a Brooklyn location. And I did all the interview and work process in Staten Island, not really researching thoroughly like where the other, if they had any other places.
Right.
So because somebody invited me to get the job at that location, so I just went for it. The good thing is the travel is nice only because I get to read a book or maybe write songs down in the travel. so I'm not bored. Pre-COVID, it was only an hour and a half, but post-COVID, it's 2 hours to 2 hours and a half because of the delay in the ferry. So if you miss the ferry, it runs every hour on the half an hour.
So when you take the train from Brooklyn to Manhattan, you have to take another train from Manhattan to the ferry, correct? You wait for the ferry, and then what happens on the other side in Staten Island? Do you have to get a bus or something, or you walk?
Yeah, I gotta get a bus.
So you're taking 2 trains to the ferry, then you take the ferry, then you take the bus.
Correct.
Wow. So you're up at, if you have to get to work at 8 o'clock, you have to be out of the house by 5:30.
6 o'clock roughly.
Okay. To get home by 6:30, you're leaving the work by 4
o'clock.
Are you seeing any scenarios where people are still collecting around your home, not wearing the mask, or in groups?
Yeah, constantly. I mean, if anybody knows New York is one of the most thoroughest cities, states in the United States. The borough of Brooklyn, a lot of people, they're in and out. Well, the good thing is that the grocery stores, they're like really mandating this, like, hey, you cannot come in here without a mask.
Right.
If you don't have them, you can't come in.
Right.
There are people walking around the streets without a mask and gloves and stuff. I personally don't want to wear gloves because of the cross-contamination thing. Because you can think about how many different things you touch. And then even unresponsibly and unconsciously, you sometimes will even touch your face with that glove without even really knowing you did it. So I stay away from the gloves. I just wash my hands, the hand sanitizers, and I stick to that. The problem that I have is that I understand that air is like the healthiest thing you can have. So I have a mask on me, but sometimes it's like tucked under my chin. So that way I can just enjoy the air. Once I'm around massive amounts of people, 10, even if it's more than 5 people, I have the mask on. Right. Only when I'm on transportation, I'll have it on. Once I'm back outside, I lower it so I can just get some fresh air while I'm walking. So, clients that you're dealing with personally, what sort of age range are they? Majority of them, I want to say, are from 40 up. Some of them may be in their 30s. And most of them have some sort of mental scenario, right, that they're dealing with? Correct, or physical. So a lot of times you're pretty hands-on, correct? And how does it make you feel to do what you're doing, especially in these times? I try to not put certain things into my reality, but it is what it is for the massive amounts of people. But when I'm doing this work, it's humbling. It just makes me feel like these are family members that I get to meet and to see and become friends with, and I may see them like at the movies when I'm not working, and it may be like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, another conversation, and it's a delightful experience. So I definitely would encourage anybody who can get into that type of field today, even if it's just part-time, take that experience because it gives you a sense of care and value for the next person, whether they have a disability or not. Lovely. Very well said. And on that note, I am going to say thank you very, very much for spending this time with us today. People can see the type of work that's out there and the people like yourself who do this work that is very much needed and warranted in these times in the face of the virus that we're living in. Thank you very, very, very much, Taiwo. I appreciate your time. So thank you for having me. I appreciate being a guest on your show. And congratulations on all the success. You're definitely relentless with it. So. Thank you. And remember, folks, when you're on your beat, walk on the sunny side of the street. Until the next time, ciao.
Hey there. Please help us in our mission to support those facing fatal diseases through our t-shirt sales by donating or shopping at aussiestewart.com or supporting us at anchor.fm/AussieStewart. That's ANCHOR.FM/AussieStewart. And don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel at Aussie Stewart. Yep. Leave a comment.